Hi, so I just want to talk a little bit about being vulnerable. Um, I just looked at the definition of being vulnerable, and it's susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. So being vulnerable makes us susceptible, and that's what we don't like. Like, who wants to be open their self up for being hurt? And the reason why it's so, none of us want to open ourselves to being hurt, but the reason why it's so important for us to be vulnerable is because if we don't really show our heart and who we are and where we're at, then you're limiting any relationship building that you're able to do. And I just believe that God created us for a relationship. The other day, I listened to a TED Talk, and it was talking about loneliness and how that loneliness is just as detrimental on your health as a lot of other things like smoking or other unhealthy bad habits. So we know that we can't totally separate our physical and spiritual and mental self. Like, they're all connected through our brain and emotions, and those emotions are each hormones that affect our body. So there is a biological, chemical explanation that we can give for how loneliness can disrupt your health. But a lot of times, just to hear that, people would be like, oh, whatever. They wouldn't really want to accept it, I think, because normally we want to separate anything that happens in our mind with things that happen in our body. But loneliness is very detrimental. I believe that God created us for relationship with Him and with others. And it's very vital to build relationships with other people in order to have a happy, successful, good life. And we have to be vulnerable in order to have healthy, good relationships. So it is very important to have boundaries. Danny Silk talks a lot about, learning how to love and how to be, responsible for our own choices, but also how to have boundaries. You can check any of his stuff out at Love on Purpose Academy, lopacademy.org, I believe, or .com. Anyway, so Danny Silk stuff is really good, but it is important for us to have boundaries. So someone that is very, a random person we meet on the street, we're going to be less vulnerable with them than with our family. But there still needs to be some level of vulnerability with every type of person that we meet, every different category that we meet, because we need to be able to be ourselves. It's very attractive to be able to be comfortable in your own skin. I think sometimes people that have, not so great of morals, maybe, they have a big following, people love them, it's like, why is that? You think that we would all, have some basic, understandings about morals in life. But I think a lot of times why those people are attractive is that for anyone, whenever we're comfortable in our own skin, it is very attractive to other people because they want the same thing. They want to be able to be comfortable in their own skin as well. So I believe that you have to have a certain level of vulnerability all the time is kind of what being comfortable in your own skin is, because whenever you put a mask up and you're not being totally honest with yourself and people around you, whenever you have that mask there, the mask is the opposite of being vulnerable. So if you are confident in who you are and in what Jesus has done for you and your mission in life, you should have that being able to be comfortable with yourself, and then, you're able to be appropriately vulnerable to different people in your life in order to build those connection and relationships. So whenever we put up walls and put up masks and feel like, it's so important to us that someone view us in a certain way, and when we feel that way, then it takes away from all vulnerability, and that's what that's what the mask is. The mask is like, this is what I want, what I think everyone should think that I am and how I think I should be, or whatever it is. So anyway, so I just encourage you to try to be more vulnerable with the relationships in your life. And it's not that you need to be over, informing people around you, like, on a level that's not, indicated for that relationship. But sometimes, and it's kind of a funny little thing, like Teresa Beachy she's moving here to Oklahoma to help us open this girls' home, and she's been mentoring me a lot. And when she was working with me, it just came to this one point. She's like, I don't know, kind of identifying a funny little thing. There was a habit in my life. It's like I would share, a lot of information about myself without much reserve. Like I didn't really have boundaries there, but then at the same time, I wouldn't be vulnerable. So just because you're sharing, facts about your life or what you think doesn't necessarily equate to being vulnerable. Being vulnerable means that you're being totally 100% honest about who you are and what you're experiencing. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but just because you're talking a lot and telling other people facts about this or that doesn't mean that you're really doing it with an open heart and a humble way, and really, like, you're still trying to protect yourself kind of a lot of times. So anyway, but yeah, I believe being vulnerable is one of the number one keys to being able to help those around us.